My name is Marcel Ernie, and you're watching Zone Television.
Okay, all you Suzuki fans, this is the new GSX-S 750. Okay, the new GSX 750 Street Fighter. Now, I'm gonna say this is a good-looking bike. I like the looks, but gosh, in a way, I'm kind of thinking that Suzuki and maybe a couple of others are kind of a day late and a dollar short with these Street Fighter offerings. If this is a 750 motor based on the 600, and let's take a look with basically a bike that has had its, you know what I'm noticing right off the rip is this is not the same chassis. This is not, so if we're looking, this is a GSX-R 600 and 750, which are basically the same bike with different engine and fuel mapping configurations and so forth. Essentially the same bikes from last year with just a different set of skins on, basically. If you see the color in person, it's nice. It's kind of a sort of like a deep medium blue with sort of a day-glow green, neon day-glow green, and white tank and fairing accents. So not a bad look for the bike. But I suppose, you know, maybe they're taking the philosophy to see if they can just squeeze another dime out of this. But here's the thing I wanted to point out. In the frame, this sport bike frame, you'll notice in the chassis you have this rather large, what they call this is a twin spar aluminum frame, and you have a weld seam right here. And this has been, now the bike has virtually been unchanged for the last few years. Okay, now if we look at the 750 GSX-S, we see a completely different frame here. This is a much different frame, and actually this looks a little bit thinner than this one here, although I'm not sure, but yes, it's a different, completely different frame. And I'm guessing this is probably going to be a very torquey bike, because typically what manufacturers do with Street Fighters is original Street Fighters are basically nothing more than sport bikes without their fairings, and they would change the gearing ratio by swapping out the sprockets of the front and the rear, and so forth. In the newer iterations of Street Fighters, manufacturers have taken it one step beyond, or several steps beyond, where they've not only refueled, mapped, and re-engineered the motor to be more street friendly. And this, I'm not digging this boxy looking swing arm either. It just looks like they took something from a parts bin and threw it on there. I mean, it almost has the same boxy look as this GW250 swing arm, which is kind of disappointing. The other thing that's disappointing, and although this is a good looking bike and some guys will probably buy it because it looks nice, the other thing that's disappointing about this bike is that it weighs, its dry weight is 470 pounds. This thing is a freaking porker. It is a heavy, that bike there weighs as much as this Yamaha R1. I believe if we look at the, well actually, this Yamaha R1 weighs less, nearly 20 pounds less than that Suzuki GSX-X Street Fighter. Okay, and just to give you a comparison contrast, this these 600s, okay, the 750 weighs, the GSX-R 750 weighs in at a 419 pounds dry weight, and the 600 is weighing in at 412. All right, so you have a freaking naked sport bike that weighs in excess of 60 pounds more than its sport bike counterparts. That's actually kind of embarrassing if you ask me. And I would actually go to the CEO, to Suzuki himself, and I say, what the hell is this? You know, it's like putting lipstick on a pig, for Pete's sakes. That's exactly what it is. Good Lord. I mean, come on. My bike, which is a Triumph Street 666-75, weighs in at just over 400 pounds, okay? Which is actually about 10 pounds lighter than either of these. So, you know what? I'm going to say fail on this bike. Big fail. Fail. Nice looking forks, nice looking panels and bodywork, but again, it's just putting lipstick on a pig. That's my opinion.